I had a whole idea for how to prevent people from getting spore rashes. And those to move. So obviously, we're not growing spore caps at all anymore. We just have the other stuff growing here. And I moved all the spore caps into this chest, which is the only chest that I have that can hold all the spore caps. But as you can see, Bladetival still has a spore rash. So that sucks. Anyways, so I spent some time really processing, and I want to talk about this a little bit because I'm going to cut off today. This is the last stream for this game for right now. And I want to talk part about why. Okay, so as you may or may not notice, we actually managed to wake up the gravel miner because Rax finally hit tier 4 Earth, which was the barrier for that. That was the bottleneck. Okay, cool. So you may or may not notice, we've already started making some sculpt stone and some frost glass. That's great. What you may not notice is we cannot make ignium. Why not? Because ignium requires thorn tooth. Now, you probably don't remember what thorn tooth is. That's the crap that shows up way over here. The stuff that will grab you and freaking murder you. In fact, we actually had someone die to those thorns earlier and had to revive them from that. Well, die. They went to downed. So, you may also not notice, there are no thorns up right now. So, it's worse than that, though, because thorns can come in groups, and they can bind groups, but you cannot set more than one mage to a task. So the vague idea I came up with, which I don't even know would work, is like if I sent one mage to like go do a completely unrelated thing, like go grab this crystal, right? So go work on that crystal, and then send the other person, because by the way, farming thorns requires a specific skill, which means the only person we have in the group who can do it is Paranoid Android. So I would have to send him specifically to go harvest the damn thing, and then someone else out there who could then rescue him if and when the thorn thing grabs him, because we need to harvest those so we can get their parts so we can start growing our own. And it's just... And all of that relies on them spawning at all, which you'll notice there are none. So I looked down here, but there are none down here either. We've actually explored quite a bit of down here at this point. So... You're probably thinking, what do you need Ignium for? All the late game stuff, right? If I want to upgrade the Mage's Tower to have access to the end game research, I need Ignium. And I don't remember what else. There's something else. There's actually several other things that I need Ignium for. I'm very low on ice petals right now for some reason. Oh, that's right, because I've been consuming all of them in order to make frost glass. Which I still don't have as much as I'd want, but you know what? Let's just pull this down to 50, because I don't think I actually need that much anyways. Like, and the problem is, this is all of the issues I've been having in the mid-game, but kind of exemplified, because once again, I found myself needing one thing to be able to do anything. And I'm just running into a wall on that part. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and just kind of give up on all of that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to try to wake up the Jade Eggplant. It's one of the only mechanics we haven't interacted with yet, right? Because we want the Jade Dragon Egg. And surely we have all the dragony stuff here. Maybe? Jade Dragon Roost. We're working on that. What is that? A natural throw. Scoosh this to the top there. There we go. So we're working on that next. In fact, actually, no, we'll work on that. Right. Oh, there. So we can make this... whatever that is. And this will allow us, enable us to also grow some vines if we actually get to that point. Cool. Everything's cool. Everything's cool. And then we'll figure out how this works, because it says there's something about sending mages away on quests, and there's a dragon thing, and there's also a dragon room, which is over here. So we should probably be thinking about what we want for this. So let's start thinking about a dragon room. What do we need? So it needs to be towered, opened, backed. So, on its own, and no furnishings. Okay, has to have an absolutely goddamned insane amount of luxury. And it has to have some roof decor. That is bonkers, but sure. We're going to put it over here. Because honestly, whatever. Towered is just taller, right? That's all that towered means. Yep, okay, cool. So, why don't we just go ahead... let everything kind of resolve here. We're just gonna do this. We're just gonna do this. Come on. And we're gonna make a roof, a regular roof, because we want as much luxury as possible. I'll make it like over here-ish. There we go. Boom. Done. And then a blighted Mana Lantern has appeared, because of course it has. Speaking of which, I do need to send Blade Taval down here, because Blade Taval is hungering for battle, because his bloodlust knows no bounds. That's our setup. I mean, yeah, Kennex Cow, but I'm not even sure I'm going to be physically capable of doing that, because all the really good luxury stuff requires things I don't have yet. Although I guess there's that. Oh god, I don't know. Can I, like, cancel that? Of course I can. Okay, let's do this. And do this. Do that. Okay. Lord Harrowmont building yet another wing to the castle here. This ridiculous castle of ridiculous. I also have discovered that, near as I can tell, there just is straight up no way to automatically attune. You have to manually attune. Period. So I spent the time sitting down and figuring out who needed to be what and where, so that I could attune everybody. So everyone's actually attuned to their relics, which they've have equipped for, at this point, weeks? Everything I'm talking about is probably going to be negative territory, by the way, just to be really clear. And it's no surprise that the game starts to fumble a little bit in the late game, because that's what we in the business refer to as normal. Let's go ahead and bring Evo for that. And, whoops. I actually do want to figure this. And Mr. Red and Blade Taval's bloodlust continues to need to be sated, so we're going to bring you two as well. Also, I don't know if I'd show this off, but we got the private dining room. So that's nice. That's cool. To get a Sally manager, it needs 85 total luxury, which is absolutely bonkers. And it needs that roof decoration. And you guessed it, roof decoration requires Thorntooth, my ancient nemesis. Cow, murder that in one shot, thank you. Just keep killing. Just keep killing. Just kill. Just kill. Get rid of that nonsense. And there's our Greater Wand Transfigurator. This is how we can upgrade wands to Tier 3. Cool. Not too shabby. And the end of that particular path. You notice we still don't have any Thorntooths down here. So I'm going to let everyone kind of recover from that, because there was a lot of battles in a row. And now we get to wait again, because that's what we do, is we wait. Oh, actually, no, we're not waiting, because I need to do this, which means I need a dark and nature person and a dark person. So I need we'll do it that way. Hmm. I could try to make the Thorntail work to get some Ignis, but honestly, at this point, I've lost the care. We're ahead of the food again, finally. Let's go ahead and get rid of these. We have tons of crabbages. We really don't need any more. We have plenty of ruin wood. That's a weird sentence to have. You'd think the dark room they would want it to be dark, but oh, it's funny. Humans perform worse in battle. Great, that's excellent. That's what I wanted. Wonderful. Where's the nature thing? Oh, it's currently gone. Right. The private room is working out nicely. Everyone's mood is being boosted by it, so that's good. Take that. Oh yeah, speaking of late game bull crap, so check it out. Here's the libation window. Oh, check it out. So there's the lounge. We finally got the lounge going. I'm very happy about that. So here's the libations you can get. They cost all of these extra special resources. These extra special resources are total bullcrap to make. How you're supposed to have a large amount of any of these spices is something that is beyond me. Like, we mentioned Nutmage, right? Sure. Let's go see what Nutmage takes. Well, let's go over here to the pot. Let's see. Let's add some Nutmage. So Nutmage takes 2 jumping nuts. I don't even know what that is. Bitter rice and 2 rock candy, which I also don't know what that is. Cinnamon takes crabbages, ice petals, and phoenix flowers. Witchwort takes all of this stuff. All of these take fairly large amount of resources, usually a tier 1, a tier 2, and a tier 3 resource, just to make some spice. And you need all kinds of spices to make all of these libations. And you're probably wondering, why bother? Well, that's actually a valid question. So these wonderful, wonderful libations. Is coffee? It gives you plus 10 conviction, just on the spot, pretty much. Now, hang on. This is the really messed up part. Each of these changes the bonus based on the weather when you drink it. If this is a fungal bloom, if it's a cold snap, if it's a high stink, if it's a horticulture, if it's a golden berries, or if it's fair weather, it gives you bonus conviction. That is a huge amount of effort for plus 10 conviction. And that's kind of my point, is this is the kind of thing that I would expect to, like, replace conviction. This should be like plus 50 conviction, not 10. In fact, I should be jotting down all these thoughts as I'm having them, because all of this is going in the review. So let's write this down here. So we've got... Okay. Unpause. So like I said, we're going to make a few wands. Let's make a few wands. I'll get rid of that. Just keep making the wands. Keep making the wands. Do that in a minute. Actually, let's just do that right now. Go deal with that right now. before an event happens, because you know an event's coming. Just where we're at. I mean, look where the fog is. The fog's like, hi. Also, a weird combination of hills and travel time makes getting around such a pain. Like, I feel like this is a cheat. Laying down some foundation and a broom rack just to be able to get around quicker, but I haven't seen anything else that helps with that. You can put down carpet, but only on flat terrain, and only indoors. Everything else is just, eh. Seem to be doing good on ingredients for making undead, which is good. And Lord knows we're keeping up on the fog, really. Oh, wait, no, that's the weather bag. So, and there's another thing. Oh, right, I want to talk about that. Hey, Mr. Ed. So, one of the things you can do is you can grind students, right? Pull in a new student, teach them, train them up, everything's cool, awesome. And then once they're all trained and awesome, you graduate them, which gives you relics and also Gnosis shards. Gnosis shards are then used to get more students. Other than min-maxing your current staff, this feels incredibly pointless. Gnosis shards are used for recruiting and upgrading, which you get for graduating recruited and upgraded people. It's an internal system, right? You don't use Gnosis shards for anything else. So why am I bothering? You'll notice I haven't graduated anyone forever because there's actually no point for me to do so right now, unless I wanted to try and replace my staff, and I don't care enough to replace my staff. So the entire late game loop feels needless. There's no motive there. There's no extra resources. Like we were spitballing 2 days ago. We're talking about like the possibilities of maybe have it so that depending on how well you do, maybe you get a donation now and again. Maybe you get some kind of rep bonus, or maybe it's easier to recruit this kind of thing. Maybe events get better for a while. Maybe events get worse for a while. Maybe you gain influence with X, Y, and Z. I don't know. Something. Don't have anything in here. I might as well put all these large rugs in, because I'm going to need a absolutely begrillion amount of rep in here. Like just one begrillion rep. Because I want this to be a dragon room. Which means it's going to need absolutely insane amounts of luxury. Just crazy amounts of luxury. Peaceful luxury, specifically. So that's 4. It's 2. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to just spam this stupid room. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. We also may have to live with it being in the dark, because I don't know if I can light a room that large without using, you know, windows. Because I can't use windows, because dragons don't like windows, apparently. Sure, why not? You may also notice, another thing I did off camera, you might not notice, is we have a new chest room, because we actually were reaching the point where we were getting full on storage. Just straight up full. We still have spore room rashes. Oh, I think it's the previous one. Nope, we still have spore room rashes. We still have rashes. Oh my god. What are you working on? The roost, yep. And the huge rug. So the huge rug will be some basic luxury, but it won't be peaceful luxury. I want peaceful luxury. Then it sucks to be me. I'm not sure what I get for peaceful luxury. What about this? Is this peaceful luxury? That's not peaceful. That's not anything. That's also not anything. That is... Why does peaceful luxury? It's only 7. But... something. Yeah, exactly, Archers. Like I said, there's a lot of different directions they could have taken graduation to keep it relevant, to keep it something you want to keep doing. If I can use another game's example for just a second. A game we played quite a while ago, about 4 years ago, which was really good. I highly recommend it. It's called Surviving Mars. Now, Surviving Mars, at a certain point in the game, you reach a point where you're independent. But for a huge portion of the game, you are dependent on Earth. Because Earth has access to everything. They have every resource. All you have to do is buy them with dollars. You don't generate dollars. You're on freaking Mars. So the loop becomes, do X to gain money, spend money on anything. Whatever you need. Whether it's buildings or resources or personnel, you could spend money, and it's a universal currency. Literally, it was something you could spend to fill holes. Like, for example, right now, it would be great if I could spend money in order to go ahead and give me the thorn roots, which I need in order to be able to progress through this whole arc, right? And that kind of just, trade. Trade is such a huge element of games like these. Until you get self-sufficient. I mean, we reached that point, if you remember. We reached the point where we didn't need Earth anymore, and money just stopped being relevant, which was rather appropriate, actually, if you think about it. But the point is, it's a great incentive to engage in the trading loop pretty much at all points in time until you're at, like, the super late game. Having, like, rep points or something which you could then trade in for resources would be a great thing. Even it's really, really basic, but it'd be a great way to encourage the player to keep mulching through students. Like, at this point, bringing in students just takes away time from all my other tasks. And I'm barely keeping up as is. Hi, Brigwin. We have 20 meat and veggies now. Leitval desperately needs to sleep, which is why he's sleeping. Yeah. We could repel the fog again, consequently. I'm not going to. That's insanely expensive to do at this point. It takes resources we do not have regular sources of. Now we might do it. Nope, still just as expensive. Well, as long as we're covered, I don't care that much. Oh, thank God, Bregman. Oh, that's an interesting idea, Arspruce. I could see that, yeah. I don't know. But anyways, so what I need right now... I need to get rid of the Void Shroom, obviously. Yeah, also the graduation artifacts. Like, relics are neat, but honestly, they're relatively mild. In fact, just to give you a bit of a perspective, I was looking at this earlier, right? So, this is a level 9 relic. Cool, what does that do? Plus 27 speed and 90 mana. That's not bad. But, like, the other effect is allows you to specifically summon a Wolfkin. At any level. Okay, what about this? Well, that makes it so that water mages are slightly better. Okay. What about this one? 2% chance to prevent KO in battle. What? So far, the only artifacts I've seen that are legitimately useful are things like this one, which is mages cook faster, or this one, which makes it so that research it faster. Even those are 1.5. Most of these I'm only equipped because if I don't, they're just sitting there doing nothing. So, yeah, a lot of the relics are just completely not worth it. Oh, you may or may not have noticed. I actually sent, what's her face? I've already got her. Alicia, I think? The woman who ended up saving her life. I sent her off. So she was retired. We finally reached the point where we could retire her. We can process useless relics into Gnosis shards, which are used for summoning students. I swear, someone didn't think about that loop. They made a closed loop and then walked away from it. Good afternoon, Bregwin. Or Bregwin. You're not Bregwin! You're not Bregwin at all! Your lust for victory is getting worse, though. What I should probably do is sit down, look at all of the relics, see which ones are worth a damn. Which is, like, none of them, really. So, like, unequipped, yeah, deattune that. You are still cooking up a storm, as is your wont. So this can't be equipped on anyone who can cook. Which means it's actually kind of worthless, so let's just deattune that. The actual cook over here is healing faster on medical rest. Hunting faster. And yeah, the one we're going to mulch. I suppose I could just really mulch through relics trying to get some good relics. That is something I could do, but why? Hey, Mad Overlord. I hope you had fun. And food. Yeah, go ahead and keep that for now. Go ahead and keep that too. And that. Here's another one. Cooks faster. Once again, cannot go on the only cook. Quilt faster. That's something. Hell, I've even got frickin' relics on the students. Which are still leveling, apparently. So now we can just start mulching anything that's not assigned to anybody right now. Fire magic. Legible. A reasonably high fire skill. And not being a student. Because staff only. For legal reasons, obviously. Okay. We done with all my wands? Yes. Okay, so I need a dark and a nature. Actually, there is a cap. I can have 4 fire staff, 3 water, 3 dark, 3 of everything. I actually can only have 4 because I have a relic, keeping me higher there. So that's your population cap up there in the upper right. You can also only have 22 people total. That includes students. So I want nature and dark, I think? Hang on, what am I doing here? What am I doing? Yes, because I need nature, dark, and then dark and nature. Yes, so I would like a dark initiate, please. Begin the ritual. While we're here, speaking of, there's actually something else I've been meaning to do. Let's go ahead and upgrade Victoria's wand. Oh, and Rax's, and Zera's. Okay. Just upgrade all 3 of you. I've been holding off on that for a minute anyway, so yeah, go upgrade that. Actually, yes, they can, Arspruce. I was actually thinking about that because... so the nice dining room only has room for 1 dining table, which means only 4 people can dine at it at a time. So I'm suddenly convinced just to change up my dining hours slightly in order to make sure that people are different. The thing is, I would have to do, like, I have to do a weird custom groupie kind of a thing. You know, like these staff members. So these other staff members, right? You get it. I could do it. I'm not going to, but I could. Wait. Yes. There we go. And that way people can be eating at different times. And I could make like a rotating thing if I did that. I could probably come up with a really efficient way to make sure that I've got, you know, redundancies everywhere and at least one person awake at any given point in time. But I don't care right now. So I'm not going to bother. What I'm going to do is deal with these spectral rifts. Alright, Blade Taval, I know you lust for battle, but you gotta wait. Wait, no, you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait at all. No, absolutely, Arspruce. Honestly, like I said, having 2 of each specialty in terms of staff is the kind of thing I'd probably be pushing for if I really wanted to keep playing, which... Problem is, I'm kind of good, right? I'm kind of at a point where I'm ready to be done with the game. So I'm not going to do that. But it would make sense. Consider that a lesson for the future whenever I do inevitably pick this game up again, because I will. Almost assuredly. Sigh. So let's do this. Firebolt, as usual, does nothing. Hello, Elizar. How are you? Yeah, I don't blame you, Bragon. And you can do that. You can just turn it off. That's an option you have. I do like... I know I'm sounding a little bit negative, but part of the problem is I think this game has a lot of great features and an excellent early game. One of the best early games of these kind of games I've seen in a long time. The mid-game stumbles a bit, but is still generally good. And by the time you get to the late game, it just starts to fall apart substantially. I suppose I'm not even at late game yet. Like I said, with a few tweaks, I think this would smooth out a lot better. And I do mean, like, very specific tweaks. Nothing broad and sweeping. Just, like, fix this here, fix this there, etc., etc. Mr. Red now literally has better fire spells than you, Blake. Yeah, exactly, Arspruce. It's like, okay. True, Dream Whisperer. Like, I still wish I could go back and replay Evo's Dead. Wow, that... Wow. Wow, okay. That sucks. And Blateval's dead. Well, I guess his thirst for hunger is dealt with now. His thirst for fighting has been quenched because he just lost. Can I get some people to rescue these yahoos, please? You just died in combat. You were just fighting some regular-ass trash mobs. And you died. Lord Haremont just picking up the dead, like, yeah, I know, I've been here before, I got this. Um, I guess we'll have the student revive Blatevall. That feels appropriate. Well, no, part of the problem is that... How do I explain this? So you have a cap based on your generation, which means even if I fully upgraded you, Blatevall, you will never be as good as a fresh student that has a higher base cap. Because then I could upgrade the base student to be even better, and you get the general idea. Like, it's clear the intention is to get rid of old staff and replace them with new. I just haven't been doing that, because... I guess I don't have a good reason why, but I haven't been doing that. What is the issue? What's the issue here? What's the... Oh, okay, we're good, we're good. We have our two new people. Do you have your wand? Do you have your wand? Do you have your wand? So now I need those two to learn. Once those two learn... Yay. Like, I could... this is going to sound strange. I actually know exactly how I could start rotating out staff, and then getting better staff, and then rotating those out and getting better staff. I just kind of don't want to right now. So we're going to go ahead, focus on the dragon. That's our goal. Dragon. Like, I could promote Mr. Red to a staff member, and he would literally be a better cook than you, among other things. But I'll never do it. Also, 2 or 3 wands are a little silly. Subject. Also, 2 or 3 wands are... I only have the recipe for 1 tier 3 wand right now, and they take Ignium. Can you guess what Ignium requires? If you guessed something you don't have, good job. You win. So yeah, now, ironically, now I'm just waiting again, because that's the nature of this. Just kind of let everyone recover for a minute. Who needs rest? What are you doing? Go get some medical rest. And Blatevall, I know you're cooking. We actually have some food for once. Not a lot. We have 1 day's worth of food. But that's enough for you to go get some friggin' rest. So go get some friggin' rest. How do we have an idle staff? Oh, it's Lord Harriman. Okay. Need medical rest. Who? Oh, Evo. Go back to bed, Evo. Go back to bed. Right now. I also need to make sure that I don't, that I don't keep people, that I don't run out of students, because remember, certain activities can only be done by students, which continues to be ridiculous. Like, I guess that's your motive for always keeping students on hand, but at that point, you just keep the students around. God, I'm literally just waiting. I basically have nothing to do right now. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. The fact that staff and students count as different, for lack of a better way to put it, colonist types doesn't work. What should probably be, I was actually thinking about this, what should probably be, if I was doing it, is I would make it so that you keep them divided, but allow, first of all, let staff do everything. Let's just get that out of the way. Second of all, make it so that the undead minions, which exist specifically to help with the banal stuff, can also do everything. Even if it's one minion per task, which it already kind of is, by the way. Just make it so that there are minions who can do all the little side stuff. Minions already have deadlines, like they only last for a couple of days, and they already require resources to keep up. So make the undead minions a little bit better and more activities they can do. Make the staff be able to do everything. And then make it so the students have something else. I know that sounds strange, because that's not a specific answer, but like, students just being treated like any other colonist feels really weird. Especially since there are some things that only students can do, and quite a few things students cannot do. Where is Yer? Okay, no, I was saying, why are you not attending school? Go attend school. There we go. Yes, yes. Cool, cool. So yeah, what I'm waiting for right now is Yer and Zai, those last two students, to max out, to be ready for graduation, at which point I will put both of them on the Dark Apprentice portal. Maybe. Nope, definitely. Definitely. A storm! Oh. Oh, that's wonderful. That's such a good thing that just happened. Oh dear God. Why? Okay. Alright, hang on. Let's set up some lightning rods first and foremost. We actually do have a few in the bank, so to speak. Because of how much of a problem this is. Yep. There we go. There's that lightning. Lord Hermit, could you prioritize the lightning? Oh, actually. Thanks. Appreciate you. And could you prioritize the other lightning rod, please? Thanks. I could see that working too, Arspruce, yeah. Because I still get the idea of rotating in and out. Like, I get the concept of upgrading, or I guess promoting students into staff. And that's an interesting loop in its own right, if they did more with it. That's another thing. Maybe staff can only be with you for X amount of time. Like, period. 10 years till retirement. Oh God. Imagine if Blade Javal was going to, last the next, was gone. And I'm just like, I gotta replace my cook. Ah! Although, having a undead cook certainly sounds like it would help. Oh no, that would be terrible. An undead cook. I mean, it is kind of Blade Javal. But what I meant is one of the minions. One of these things. The Quilted. Yes, I realize you're actually a Quilted in lore. You know what I mean. See, Von Falkenstein's got a good point there. You can tell I've had some experience with lightning storms because I have lightning rods on every freaking roof. Can you prioritize that, please? Thank you. Oh god, what if that was an option, Dream Whisperer? So you can allow a chef to be creative or to follow a recipe. Recipe is always static. Creative can be better or worse of an outcome for the food. But, like, some races change that number slightly. So like an undead cook, it could be like -20, but also +20. Oh my god. Because you don't know, they might just stumble into something because they're just trying stuff. They're just trying random stuff. How's our fog looking? We should probably push that back soon. Yeah, so many of these types of games, I feel like the second playthrough would be better. But maybe better's the wrong word. Different. Less stressful. Which could arguably be considered to be a worse thing. As weird as that probably sounds, right? Like, my first playthrough... I'll use Frostpunk as an example. My first playthrough of Frostpunk was amazing. It was also extremely stressful, because I had no idea what I was doing. I was constantly behind, and I kept screwing up, because I didn't know what I was doing. A second playthrough would be a lot better, because I'd know what I was doing, and I would be on top of things, and blah, blah, blah. But would it be a better playthrough? Also, Evo still has sports room rash. That's great. And everyone's hungry. Go eat, people. You have food. We do. We do actually have food. Yeah, exactly, Takoda. So it's like, eh. Yeah, I've said this before. Stress is not an inherently bad thing in gaming. I mean, is it no wonder that so many builder games and strategy games of so many types involve challenge runs? Do this without taking a loss, or do this without this tool, or whatever, right? Do this in X time. Do this without this other thing. Because the varied approach is what kind of changes the game at that point. Where the heck? Oh, okay. How are we looking over here? Pretty close. Pretty close. The good news is we're at the point now with this extremely nice classroom that, in fact, the nicest classroom we can have for just a generic classroom, that these two students are almost ready to go already. And we're extremely close to having a roost, which is great. And then, where's... Yeah, that. Hey, Met Overlord. I gotta tell you, Lord Hermon, I know you were like, oh, I'm worthless early on. You have been the MVP of the entire playthrough. Don't mistake me. Without Blade Tavall, we'd literally have died. But, like... You know? Oh my god, so there's... Oh, that's huge. That's absolutely ginormous. I'm glad I made this so tall. I did that just on a lark. Just in case, and I apparently made the right frickin' call there. There's Nature Wand 3. It also requires Ignium, by the way. As far as it does. So we're gonna need 34 Peaceful Luxury. Five Hanging Plants to make that happen. We can make that happen. We can make that happen. You know, Blade Tavall's about to... He's losing his edge. He's... Blade Tavall. Blade Tavall. Buddy. Buddy. Oh, you are such a pain. Okay. Okay. How could you have mundane dining? I have a really nice room here. Look at this place. It's luxury 31. Oh. Hang on. Hang on. I could do better than that. Here. Really nice rug. So that y'all shut up about not eating in a place that's not good. Oh, that's funny, Mr. Red. I wonder if the results were as immediate as we're thinking they were, because that would be quite amusing, I think. Oh, by the way, here's the Dark Apprentice magic thing. Just sharing that. Seriously, Blade Duvall. You're going to make this happen. It's going to be okay. You don't need to go into battle with an enemy. You can go into battle with the cooking rope. I tell you what, we'll take you into battle soon, okay? Yeah, I did it as I was posting. I was like, you know what? This should be shared. Django gets credit for the idea for sharing it, though. It was Blade Duvall. DS9. Although Enterprise had something not as good, but same direction. Oh my god. What are you waiting on? Oh, just experience. You need a pittance of experience. You know what? Yeah, let's do this. Alright, Blade Duvall, I know you yearn for battle. So here's what we're gonna do. Mr. Red, you are not gonna come with. But maybe you are. God, that's the other frustrating thing. Fire mages need battle. Do you know how few enemies are weak to fire in this game? Maybe none of these are. Yeah, that's the one, Kennex Cow. Okay, so these aren't weak to anything, actually. Now, believe it or not, that works out. Because what that means I can do. Is I can bring one of the students to a high-level battle. This cannot possibly go badly. Listen, Yer needs the experience, okay? It's fine. It's fine. I probably should have saved before I did this. It's fine. I actually can still save. There we go. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. We're just bringing a student to a low level of the underschool. It's cool. Okay, we're going even deeper. Okay, so we're gonna vengeance it up. And then we're gonna quake it up. And then we're gonna flame it up. Okay. And she leveled. Wait. Now I have access to all kinds of places. Not that I care, because what I really care about is graduating. It's almost the end of the day. Oh wait, we're not graduating. We're doing much better than graduating. We're creating a dark apprentice. Bragwin, come here. Let me make sure this is going to work the way I think it is. That'll give us +2 life, +2 dark. That's exactly what I want. We're going to get our very first cross class. How's our fog looking? Well, it's actually getting kind of close. Yes, give in to the dark powers. Let go your external self and embrace your true potential as a tentacle monster. So, yep. Now we're cross-class. And now I believe I just need 2? Was it 2? I can't even tell now. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, that's awful. And it's the middle of the night. Okay. Everyone go to bed. We're gonna let everyone sleep. So I have two choices. I can wake everyone up and go do an emergency battle in the middle of the night, so everyone's tired and cranky and needs health. Or I can let them go sleep and do it first thing in the morning. We're gonna do the second thing. Because it is way too late. Let everyone have their fun and go bed. Oh god, I just realized we don't have beds for these people. I didn't intend for them to exist. So there are no beds for them. So let's just kind of make a couple of cots there for them. And just, there you go. There's your rooms. It's better than the floor. Yeah, literally sleeping on the floor there. And also sleeping on the floor. Look, I'm sorry. I don't have room. Okay, I don't have room. Although, you know what I could do? Do I have a luxury requirement for this room? I do. What I could do is set up a ladder, like over here-ish, maybe? Yeah. It's gonna lower the luxury of the room a bit. And then set up a floor, like up here. And then put a bed. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, still. Where's the basic bed? There it is. Like this. And then I can just repeat that a little bit further up. Like, say, here. There. Now, would you want to be the kid who gets the 30-foot up bed? Or the 20-foot up bed? Or the 10-foot up bed, rather? Okay, so now everyone's super unhappy. Because, you know, hellish death. No guardrail, of course. Hope you don't move around in your sleep, because... Has everyone eaten? Where are we at? Where are we at? Looks like they've all eaten. What are you doing? Working. Okay, perfect. Instead of working, go do this. Oh, hey. The Jade Roost is there. Still needs lots of peaceful luxury, and... Oh, no. No, I can make that work. I can make that work. 3, right? It's expensive, but I can do that. Yeah, that'll work. I mean, I guess you could set up your own guardrail. We'll allow it. The students are allowed to set up their own guardrails. In the interest of avoiding any unpleasantness in the future. God, the fact that we haven't even gone as far out as we can with this stupid thing is insane. Considering how long it already takes to scooch across the screen. So let's see. We're going to need That nature, so looks like I just need a year? Oh, no, I need to upgrade Zai here. I guess this is a bit faster if you do it this way. That's just... That's a way to deal with that. Yes, join the Dark Arts, Brigwin. This is actually what Brigwin's cooking looks like. Whenever she goes to the kitchen, this is just normal. Okay, so now... This is Shrimp Swarm. So now all I need is for Yer to get one skill in Dark Magic. Literally one. And I'll be good to progress. Yes, this food will be incomprehensibly delicious. Yes, yes. Let's set one of these up here. Kind of in the in-betweeny spot. Just in case anyone wants it. Okay, apparently we can feed 6 staff members at once. Almost everyone can eat at the same time and have a nice luxury eating experience. Oh my god, Blade Tibble, why are you so unhappy? Why are you always unhappy, Blade Tibble? Why? What did I do to deserve you? Evo's really unhappy. Because she had to use air. Look, Evo. There's only so much I can do about this. So, we're back to waiting. The best part is now I'm waiting on research, too. Because I'm going to want these hanging plants. In fact, I'm going to need these hanging plants. Yeah, alright. What's 34 divided by 7? 5-ish? Yeah. Hey, Saber for Wife. So I'm going to need 5 of these hanging plants. Which means I need this research to finish. So I'm waiting on this research to finish. I'm waiting on Yer to learn 1 skill of Dark Magic. And I'm waiting on Lord Harrowmont to finish adding these peak spikes to the top of the thing. Because apparently we're playing as the Horde now. This is another reason it would be nice to have a rotating thing. I could have 1 Lightning Mage up in the day and 1 Lightning Mage up at night. If it wasn't way too late in the game to bother, I would totally think about doing that. Does anyone have wands right now? Yep, okay. Can I even afford a lightning too? Actually, I can. I have a lightning 1? I do not. So just for the heck of it, just in case this takes long enough to make that be relevant, I am going to actually do that. Get started on that. Because that's going to be a long-term investment thing. That means getting a student, training a student up, buffing a student. Oh god, I don't even think I have the lightning thing now. It just occurred to me. Yeah, I've never done the lightning orrery. Orrery. I'll have to put this somewhere. So I'll just put it right here for right now. Oh, the spikes are done. How's our food? Very low. Yeah, that tracks. Like really, really low. Like we don't have enough food for everyone who lives here right now. Low. Wait, Taval, what are you doing? Okay. Good. Good. Keep cooking. Just stay in the kitchen, okay, Blade Taval? I'm sorry, I know I'm old-fashioned, but I believe a Frankenstein monster's true place is in the kitchen. Hey, Spartan. Where's the... Almost. Getting really close to that dark 2. Although we still need the research before we can actually progress, so whatever. Wait, where's Kara White Noise? Oh, refill it. Okay, good. Continue to research Kara White Noise. So this is your life. Listen, Kara White Noise. That's the big thing I'm waiting on right now. What's this gonna do, anyways? Oh, we actually need... Okay, whatever. Is the bird being fed? That's actually a good question. Yes! Holy crap. Is the beetle being fed? No. Or, yes. Excuse me. Yes, actually. We just don't have the materials to make ignium, because of course we don't. How would we have the materials to make ignium? That'd be silly. Take care of whiteness. What are you doing? What are you doing? No! Oh, she's getting food and eating it here? Okay. You know we have a really nice dining room up here, right? Which fits 6 people, and we have 7. Never mind. I understand now. You know what? This is going to be just Kira White Noise's schedule. So, hang on. Let's... So I want you to... I want you to work. I want you to do a lot of work. I want you to do nothing but working. Get to work. But actually, what I really want is to offset your stuff. So why don't we... I want that to work. So let's do this here. And this here. And then we scooch this, and then we scooch that. So your sleep schedule will be a little bit offset, but you should still be getting... Actually, you're getting more sleep than everyone else. Too much more sleep than everyone else. In that case, let's do that. I mean. There we go. Now your food's a little bit offset. In fact, we can offset the food even more. Why don't we do this? Yeah, no kidding, Meta Overlord. It's pretty messed. Okay, so we double check. Sleep, wake up and eat. Get a little bit of work done. No, I don't like that. Immediately recreate. Then go to work. Wait, I don't like that either. Why don't we scooch eating over here? Sleeping over here. And then working over here. There we go. There we go. That looks better. Now you're eating when everyone else isn't. One bit of recreation there at the end, right before night. Okay. That should work. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. So, whenever Bragwin, like, has an issue in the kitchen, this is what it looks like. That is an army of mages. You have invaded the wrong school. My god. Alright, Kira Witness. I know it's going to be a little bit weird on your first day as you're switching to your new sleep schedule. But you got this. Just relax, play with everyone else. It's fine, it's fine. Hang out, hang out. Get some socializing in here. And then go to sleep? That doesn't sound right. You shouldn't be asleep right now. You are not scheduled for sleep right now. Why are you going to sleep? Don't go to sleep. Go do this. Why is she sleeping? And why do we still have spore shroom rashes? Oh my god. Good afternoon, Noctis. Whatever, how's our research coming? You know, it occurred to me, Lord Harrimont. I'm going to make it so that you can do research again. So you have something to do in the middle of the night. Which... Can you literally not? You literally can. Okay. Need higher lightning skill. Okay, never mind. Oh, it's horrible, Trihexia. I'm working on it, but it's pretty horrible. This place is actually good to go other than the peaceful luxury, which is what our research is waiting on. What is Lord Harrimont doing? Did I... I did. You can go deal with void shrooms again, Lord Harrimont. It looks like the undead minions have that. Never mind. Okay, good news. Kara White Noise is actually following her schedule. That's a good thing. Kara White Noise. Don't make me get rid of your recreation policies. I swear I will. Please go researching, Kara White Noise. I really am just waiting on you. Just you. Just you, please. Please. Okay. Back to researching. It's starting to rain. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? This is another thing I tend to find in a lot of games like these. I wish there was another speed above fastball. I really am just waiting. It's not the only game I've run of that. What's going on with Mr. Red? Losing the edge. I yearn victory. Also, oh my god, students have a learning... Students have a learning requirement? But why haven't you been learning? Oh, I know why you haven't been learning. It's because this thing is down here. Now let's just do that. Oh no, you have to, don't you? Oh no. I don't have a solution for that right now. Well, Mr. Red, you get to keep being miserable because I kind of can't teach you. Please don't break before I get my dragon. You're probably thinking, why don't you just set up the elemental schools already? As a reminder, the elemental schools are highest possible tier of research. The only way to get them is to get stuff at the very, very end of the research tree. In order to get to the very, very end of the research tree, you need the highest level research tower. In order to get the highest level research tower, you need to be able to build the bell tower. The bell tower takes ignium. I don't have any ignium, because I don't have any thorn tooth. So. Oh my god, Kara White Noise, why? Why? Get back to work. Get back to work, Kara White Noise. Give me that research. Give me that sweet, sweet research. I need it. I need it. I really do. And fog is advancing. That's always good. What's going on with the fog? We're okay. We're okay. Wait, I'll ask her. Where is she? She's eating. Oh, nice. In the nice place, of course. Look, I try to take care of my people. I really do. She's even dancing. See? She likes to dance. And now back to work. Because for the love of God... Hello, Zahar. Come on, we can do this. We can do this. It's so close. It's so close. There's a void troop, but we'll deal with that in a minute. Okay, we have a flourish. What does that take to build? Oh, thank God. Stuff we have. Oh, thank you, God. Okay, okay. So I need... How many of these? Hang on. These give us 7. I need... right, I need 5 of these. I already did the math on that, so... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And super priority all of this. And then tomorrow, we'll go wake up the frickin' egg. Finally! This is it. We're going to actually do something, and it's going to be dumb and boring, and I'm going to hate it. No. No, you know what it's going to be? The dragon's going to be like, if you sacrifice a student to me, I'll give you this boon. But the more knowledgeable the student is, the more powerful the boon is. And that's the thing we've been missing the whole time. Is we need to feed students to dragons. I'm going to laugh if that's actually the truth. I kind of doubt it, but you never know. Alright, everyone enjoy your sleep. Spore cap. Oh no. Oh no, we're out of spore caps because I haven't been growing them. Well, honestly, I might as well go back to growing them because it's not like that stopped them from being dicks. So sure, whatever. Everyone gets a spore rash. Everyone gets a spore rash. You get a spore rash. You get a spore rash. I give up on spore rash. It's just something that you live with. It's just... Everyone's like, it's a really great school, except you have to deal with spore rashes. What's a spore rash? We don't know, but we can't get rid of it. Oh, wow. Is it serious? It itches. Don't worry, they have spells to get rid of the itching. Oh. Like, for real, I actually went looking to see if I could find any solutions for the spore rash thing. I found some Reddit threads which involved glitching out the game to have them, like, be in range of mages, but also in, like, another room. And if that's the solution to spore rashes, yeah, okay, I'm good. Of course, there's dark whispers. Why are there dark whispers? Why are there dark whispers? What did I do to deserve this? Don't answer that question. Because I'm pretty sure the answer is spore rashes. I mean, honestly, if there's something I'm missing with the spore rash problem, it would be nice to know. Especially since I need spore rashes for so many things. Sweet, Mr. Red is on the verge of breaking, because... I'm not sure why, actually. Well, the tormenting whispers aren't helping. Jesus. Okay, you know what? Why don't we do the eggplant now? Before we forget. So let's bring out Dakoida. Let's bring out Victoria. Let's bring out Yer. There we go. Begin the ritual. Also, I can't because I don't have spore caps on. Okay. Let's do it. Please tell me this is going to give me a dragon. Where's the... Oh, it's over here. Okay. Yes. Awaken the dragon. Hopefully. A Life Seer, a Death Seer, and a Life Cycle Reinitiator. Okay, now what? Now it takes time to grow. Also, I noticed there's some of these stupid trapdoor vines here. What are you doing? Or not Android. Harvest this. Let's see what happens. And Lord Harrowmont, let's... I don't know. Okay, come here. Just in case. Just in case. I'm not sure how this is going to go. Okay, well, we managed to get the trapdoor fine. So that worked out, I guess. Now we need spore. Okay, okay. If a jade eggplant is at 0% grown for 24 hours, it will die. It's at 16. We're fine, we're fine. Does mean we need to keep the fog at bay, though. Possible break risk. Everybody! Okay. Where's Culber? We gotta get rid of these dark whispers, which is gonna be extremely irritating. Yes, I know we're at break risk. Yes, I know everyone's on the verge of breaking. God damn it, I should have known it wasn't that easy to just hatch an egg, or hatch a dragon egg. These are weak to wind, which we don't have. Wait, what?
Halo's not feeling good, so it says ground night tonight.
Okay. Okay.
Hope you, Halo. When Halo and me were playing, I put my hand on her forehead. Her forehead almost burned my finger.
I doubt that's literally true, but I understand what you mean. Maybe you could cut, like... So you see how these dangle down a bit? Maybe you could cut it so that they don't, and they're, like, up here, right? Mm-hmm. So just cut the bangs a bit shorter, and that way you could have your hair go forward, like this if you wanted to.
Yeah, but I like it doing it like this.
Okay. No, that's perfectly fine. Whatever it is you want. That's the important part.
In here is getting me so itchy that I keep trying to scratch it, and it hurts when I scratch.
So, and something that I do sometimes, you might not be able to do this, but just for the future, you get something like hot, you put it on it for a bit, and the heat reduces the itching without making it worse. 'Cause you know how you scratch it, it gets worse, right? So the heat kind of brings the itching down, makes it so you're not scratching it. Yes. Not something like super, like don't put like a frying pan or something like that. That would be terrible. Just something hot, right?
Yeah, like if you don't put your hand in the microwave.
No, don't put your hand in the microwave. That would not be. We here at the Lore Walkers do not condone putting your hand in the microwave.
Yeah, that would be scary.
That would be really awful.
You could get burnt.
Yeah. There are worse things that could happen too.
Yes, you could die.
Through death from microwave.
Yes, but if you hop in the freezer, then
that's even worse.
You wouldn't fit.
Well, yeah, obviously we wouldn't fit. Okay, so we have to take out the evil lantern and the keepers.
The lantern is evil.
Yep, and we need to make sure that we bring 2 of our weakest party members, because if we don't, they'll get unhappy. Because they hate me. So we got to do that too.
Yeah. I understand. When I was watching Babal play a game, when I saw like a weird guy, and he said party members, I thought, where's the party?
So, party, I'm not actually sure where that term comes from. Maybe in chat know where that comes from? But it refers to people who are part of your adventuring party.
Yeah.
So, like, in the movies, like when the group gets together and they're charting off.
And instructed to perform science.
Okay.
Oh, oops. 99.1.
Yes, I'm pretty sure I'm fine.
Yeah.
Are you fine?
Okay.
My forehead has been feeling hot.
Oh, okay.
Door, please.
That-
What?
You might have never noticed it, but
I did actually notice. I wonder what it was. What is it?
it's a thing.
Well, what is it?
It's a piece for a party that the
Okay.
party,
Let's put it here then, with the other stuff. How's that
and
sound?
I don't.
you get to. Oh gosh,
Yeah, there's some bad guys here. Don't worry, we got this.
water guy.
Yep, and then we're gonna have. Let's see. We don't have a fire guy, so let's just put up a buff.
No,
You know what a
not
buff? Oh, go on, go.
We're gonna science you too.
Get scienced. And then we'll do quake. Close the door, please. Thank you.
Oh, and also I noticed.
Okay, so that's one of these stupid things gone. Okay.
Sparkle, and I want you to have this.
Oh, geez. Okay, hang on.
That's
It
tiny.
is very tiny.
It is the tiniest one we have.
I'm going to put it right here, because I got other little memorabilia stuff right there. And that way I won't lose it. I'll put it right by the coin.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Why do you have a flossing thing out that you've been using? You've been using it. Don't need it. Don't need it. You can just put it in the trash.
Okay. So Zai just broke,
Zai.
which means forced to feed. What does this mean?
Okay, Zai just died.
No, she broke.
So,
Forced to gorge on whatever food is nearby. We don't have that much food. Oh no. Okay, that's awful.
scrounge. Yum.
Meanwhile, Mr. Red is really not doing well. Maybe we should, retire Mr. Red? Because we don't need him anymore, right? Right? Oh, God. I'm going to look this up, because if Jade Eggplant doesn't need anything now.
Did she actually relay the message? That
Yes, she did. Tonight is a scratch. It's the first thing she said.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Okay, so we did the bloom ritual. Okay. Oh my god, we're gonna need to do this in a greenhouse. And then we're gonna put it in the roost. And then we're gonna hatch into the roost, which is gonna take nothing. Okay, so Mr. Red, Mabugi, we're gonna promote you. Or we would if we had nothing. Oh yeah, we're good. Mr. Red needs to be fully trained. Oh god, he's not fully trained yet? Oh no! And with that, I think the stream's over. I think we're good. Okay, for real, I was gonna do the dragon thing, but hear me out for a second. So, this dragon is going to be spawning stuff near it, which is going to be preventing it from growing. Once it grows, we're going to be going ahead and dumping it into the greenhouse to do the second stage of growing. Once we're in the second stage of growing, we're going to have to go ahead and move it into an incubator, and then into the aura here. Oh, check it out. We actually made it. We actually did. Cool, check it out. Then we do another ritual, and that turns it into a dragon, and then we get to dragon stuff, and that's like 2 hours of my life right now. So, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. I honestly, all jokes aside, all personal preference aside, I have seen enough of the content that I consider this game reviewed at this point. I could keep going. I could start cycling out and improving my staff, which I know how to do. I could build up even more of these apprentice rooms in order to make them into full-scale super rooms. Cool. I could finally finish my tech. by going after the thorns in order to get ignium, in order to be able to farm the ignium, in order to be able to actually then get what I need in order to actually build all the endgame stuff. But honestly, I don't see anything I need to actively do at this point. We could find a dragon in the basement. Well, do you know where it is by chance? Because that says Wand Transfigurator. That says nothing. And that says Infernal Crystal. Because you're right, we could absolutely do that. Since Mr. Red is being Mr. Dead right now, let's go ahead and shrink that. Pop this in its place, or not. That's cool too. We even have an Earth one? We do, Rax. Bleh. What's bleh? Oh god, we have another person who just broke. Which is Mr. Red. Mr. Red just broke. Of course he did. Why wouldn't he? Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna like crank the enemy HP to absolute nothing. And make sure that make that super long. Bed's now heal. Healing rate is super good. We're gonna stop the fog advance for the moment. No negative defense for the fog. Cool. And then we're gonna go ahead. Now we've done all that. To battle, but not with Mr. Red, because Mr. Red has become Mr. Barf. It doesn't rhyme, I don't care. I don't care. Let's go. Let's see. I actually want an air mage here. So where's Kennex got you? I really can see how I could keep playing this for a while, but without hyperbole, I don't feel the need to. I could do a lot of polishing, touching up and efficiencying. I could clean up the school a little bit. I could clean up my staff quite a bit. And like I said, I've just started dipping my toe into figuring out how to progress with, yes, I know there's Unisys. Thank you, game. To progress with the Ignium. And I could get this, the Jade Dragon, all kinds of fun stuff with this. But let's just get on with it. Leitval is just getting crushed here, as is his norm. So part of the problem is everything at this point would take time. Lots and lots of time of just sitting and staring at it and doing nothing. And I have better stuff to do, you have better stuff to do. And you need to vote on those LGAs. Which surely you've done by now. Surely. I really do like the looks of this. Oh god, the oozes are destroying the orrery. The Aerie? And we have another person who's breaking. Why is everyone breaking? Why are you breaking? Tormenting Whispers. Well, I'm working on that. Seriously, I am actively working on this one. Bladefall needs to sleep, but he's currently doing a battle. Well, you get to go without sleep for a moment, Bladefall. That would actually make sense, Bladefall. Okay. Everyone go to bed. While everyone gets to bed and kind of recoups and we deal with... Oh god, Zai is dead? What? Oh, Jesus. Where's Zai? Where's Zai? Zai's right here and dead! Rescue. Headmaster's like, y'all look terrible. Mr. Ed is still currently vomiting up oozes all over the place. Can we, like, not? Can we kill these oozes, please? Could someone kill these oozes, please? No, I never had any actual deaths. I have done everything in my power to prevent actual deaths. Despite what Mr. Red is currently doing, and my temptation to kill him. Let me tell you, it is tempting. What are you... Where's the... What? Go rescue Zai! Now! Actually, I did end up saving her, Blake Javal. Alright. Oh my god, these oozes are so terrible. And Mr. Red is now at death's door. You know, Mr. Red, I'm glad you're at death's door. I'm tempted. I'm so tempted to let you die, Mr. Red. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna let Mr. Red die. Why aren't you sleeping? Oh, because you're repairing. Okay. Yep. This is all the terribleness that's happening because nobody's killing these oozes. Kill the oozes. Kill the ooze. My boogies. They don't even have lots of health. Please kill the ooze. Please kill the ooze. Okay, there's still 6 oozes. Oh my god! Okay, I understand why this is happening and how this is happening. I'm not undoing everything just because of these stupid oozes. I will manually hunt down the oozes. You can all go to bed when the oozes are gone. Of course the oozes are still trying to destroy everything. What else would they be doing? Okay, all the oozes are gone. Blade Taval, this is an emergency order. Go to bed. Paranoid Android. Go to bed. Evo. You're over here somewhere. Go to bed. Colgrim. Don't know where you are. Go to bed. Everyone go to bed. Everyone go to bed. We resurrected the students. Mr. Red's alive. Zai's alive. Go to freaking bed. Or Kennex Cow could go on a rampage. What? Intent on destroying food and furniture. Can I... Okay. That's great that that's a thing that's happening. We don't have much in the way of food. I don't know if you know that. So that's just terrible that that's happening. We really don't have that much food. In fact, we have no meat and veggies right now. And we do not have enough food to feed everyone in the school right now. Just to put this into perspective. How's the Jade Plant doing? It reset? What happened? Oh, because of the goddamn Cloas, which killed it. You know, what's funny is I was about to Alt-Tab and do the audit while just letting the school kind of run itself. And then everything went immediately to hell. A gloom has settled over the school. That's cool. That's a good thing that has happened. Alright, everyone just kind of get your naps in, get your rest in. Blake Devil is still on the verge of breaking, despite being asleep. Slept on the floor. You're in bed, dude. You're in your nice bed in your room. I don't want to hear it. Kennex Cow is still breaking things. Oh, and is now passed out from exhaustion. She stopped rampaging because she passed out. And now you're dead. Of course. Well, I don't want Kennex Cow to die. So go resurrect her, please. Blue Wind, this is your fault. I just want you to know that. Oh, now what? Kennex Cow is starving. Yeah, she's dead, dude. Everyone's asleep. What is your issue? Blue Wind, did you destroy everything? Be honest now. That was just the perfect storm of breaks, too. One break led to a second break, led to a third break. Immediately. That's how that works in RimWorld, too. Or, to use a much better example, Dwarf Fortress. When you have one dwarf that breaks in Dwarf Fortress, there's a decent chance that's the end of your playthrough, right there. Because one dwarf, being upset, breaks the water thing, which makes the dwarf go without water. So they're irritated, and they smash the water vein. That allows the water to come in and floods the entire cavern and kills everyone. Mercenaries 2, Splinter Cell 1, and Splinter Cell 2. I don't know the names. I'll look it up later. Thank you, Judo Joker, very much. As always. Appreciate you. Now, let's see if I can get out of this emergency state. So I can get to something resembling decency. Lord Hermel, what are you doing? Repairing still. Go do that, like, right now. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Lord Hermel. Lord Hermel. Oh, there you are. Okay, we're good, we're good. Is everyone... Like, why are you still asleep? You're still... You just need that much sleep, apparently. We're like midday and everyone's still asleep because that break killed everyone's schedules. Imagine being awake until about 5 in the morning, because that's about what just happened. Because Mr. Wood was puking oozes all over the school. We're still repairing all the damage from all that crap. Okay. People are waking up. That's good. That's good. Why don't you go eat some... Oh, you can't because the table's broken. Oh, God. Do we have no food? Oh, my God. We have no food. We have no food. We have no food. We have no food. Our only cook has been busy lately. We have no food. You know what? You know what? Everyone, you are now allowed to eat gut berries. Well, we hate gut berries. That's nice. Maybe you should have thought of that before you started puking all over everything. Go eat the gut berries. Just go eat the gut berries. Just go eat the gut berries. I know it's going to make you unhappy, and I kind of don't care. Go eat. This is your fault, so I don't want to hear it. I sent people down into the depths and got rid of both Dark Whispers. So I don't want to hear it. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Nice food. Nice plate. I get you a very nice dining room. I get you all kinds of stuff. And you have the audacity to be like, oh, I'm upset because I'm hungry. And of course, Blade Javal breaks and starts vomiting oozes everywhere. Can I kill you, Blade Javal? Okay, anyways, so I'm just going to call that the fail state, because we currently have no food, and our freaking chef just decided to start vomiting oozes all over the place. I could recover from that, but I don't care. So what we're going to do, we're going to save as... let's see if it lets me do a second save, because I meant to check this earlier. It does. It's the same slot, but it looks like we can set multiple saves. That's good to know. Okay. Now let's quit without saving. And then let's quit the game. And then let's stab Lord Errant. We're good. Oh my god. So I'm going to go ahead and do the audit. I apologize because I haven't done any of it, because I spent the entire lunch trying to push through getting that stupid dragon egg and failing at it. It's my fault. I'll take ownership of that. I hope the musical was good, at least. Wrong song. I want this song. I'm kidding. Sorry about the noise there. So yeah, if you haven't got your guesses in, this is a really good time to do it. See, part of the problem is, and I'm going to talk this out for a second. Fair enough, Lord Errant. I feel like I run into this problem with every game. We were talking about it with SimCity, right? What do you do in SimCity? Well, you build your city until you're bored. That sounds dismissive, but what that means is if you were to chart your relative enjoyment on a chart, so here's your enjoyment, the y-axis is your enjoyment, and your x-axis is time, right? Very basic. Generally speaking, most SimCity games, the common arc is you start relatively low on enjoyment, and it kind of goes up, and then it peaks at a certain point when you're really into the groove and you're like starting to do new stuff and you're redoing the zones and this is working out great. And then what usually happens is it just drifts off over time. Now, what the angle is of decline depends on you and on the quality of the game. But every one of these games that's supposed to be an infinite game goes through this. This is normal. This is how this is supposed to be. This is the default status, right? This is the intended outcome. What's supposed to happen is you're supposed to go, yeah! And then you reach a point where you're just comfortable putting it down for a while. And the idea is that later, months or years or whatever later, you think, I feel like playing that again. And then you go through the same arc again. Make sense? That's how this works. Yeah, exactly, Move. That would be bizarre, frankly. I'd be like playing Fortnite over and over. Anyways. For real, though. I don't think this game had a particularly bad drop-off. I just think that as soon as I realized what the end game was, And as soon as I realized what it was going to involve, I was just like, oh, I'm done. And I made that realization before I hit lunch today. It just kind of clicked in the back of my mind that I had basically seen the entire game. So I spent the lunch break, pretty much the entire lunch break, just continuing to play off camera. Just to poke at things and see things and interact with mechanisms. And yeah, there's really only one core gameplay loop I didn't actually interact with, and that's the dragon, which why I was setting that as a goal. And then I saw what that would take. Because, yeah, so there's the egg stage, then there's the bloom ritual, which we're at, then there's the incubation stage, then there's hatching stage, then there's the baby stage, the juvenile stage, and the adult stage. All of those are separate phases, which take time to go through. Every single one of those takes time. And resources, obviously. And then once we're at adult, I'm not sure what the point is once you're at an adult. Oh, here are the quests. This is what I wanted, the quests. Yes, here we go. So once you do all of that, once you finally have a dragon up, which, God, that's an insane amount of work to do, but once you do it, there's also an ember dragon, apparently. So you could go scouting to find quests. Okay. Then you could find the seals. I haven't seen much about the seals yet. We'll look at that in a second. So you could go on quests to go complete seals. And yeah, it takes away some of your mages, and they're removed. They go off on quests, right? It's the same basic concept. Then there's side quests you can do, which give resources and the like, so that's cool. And so what's the seal thing? Seal key. Seal's key. Here we go. What's the seal key? What's the point of doing the seal key? Sorry, hang on a second. This article is a stub. Okay. Hi, J. Palmer. Okay, so the Nexus requires several keys, which you have to do quests with the dragon, and then you have to craft elemental keys in the different apprentice halls, which require max research to get. It is apparently an infinite hallway to give endless rooms to battle for mages of all levels. It also allows you to travel to key points in the Underschool. But why? I'm sorry, that sounds dismissive, but like, if you're at the point where you have turbo done everything to even reach this thing, you have to, by definition, you have to be at the very end of the research tree. You have to already be glutted with resources. You have to have done the entire dragon quest chain, and each quest chain the dragon offers in order to access this thing, and what it gives you is infinite random battles. Why? What's the point of that at that point? I mean, that's fine, but that's not positive worthy, which is exactly why I was researching this. That's just there. Treadmills, by definition, in game design are very rarely something that I consider for positives in any game. So, yeah, if the goal is just to experiment with different battle builds and try the hard bosses, that's fine. But that's it. Which is fine. I can't think of one off the top of my head. I'm sure there's one somewhere. Jay Palmer. So would I say the endgame is bad? I think the endgames does have several problems that are bad, yes. I think the weighting problem is legitimately, like, negatives 7 through 12 are all late game negatives, and I think that says all it needs to. In fact, that's half the negatives I've given the entire game are for the late game. So yeah, I would go so far as to say that I think the late game is bad. I think that it is... There's a lot to do in the early game. There's a decent chunk to do in the mid game. There's nothing to do in the late game, and that's the problem, is all you do at that point is you did it. You just sit around and wait for stuff to happen so you can do the one thing that you can progress at. And I do think that's bad. I've seen worse. This is still a game I like a lot, and still a game I'm going to replay in the future. But I think when I get to this point, I'm just going to walk away. Because late game and strategy games is a huge issue. Has been since Civilization 1. Since strategy games were basically invented. Because the problem is... Yeah, exactly, Jay Palmer. The strategy genre, by definition, follows a very patterned cycle of events. In the beginning, you can't do much. That is to say, there's a lot you've done. There's a lot you can do, but you're limited on how much of that you can do. So you've got... Let me just put this into made-up numbers. There's 10 type of things you can do. You can do 2 things per round. Okay. Do this and this, and then this and this, and then this and this, and then this and this. That's early game, right? That's in all of these. In every single one of these. We talked about it earlier when we first started this game. It was the survivalist phase, when just getting food and pushing back the fog was all we were focusing on, right? Just harvesting lumber was like a major goal of ours. That's early game. We could do 10 things, but can only really accomplish 2 at a time. That's fine. That's good. You allow the player to decide what they want to do in what order. Okay, cool. Then we progress to the mid-game. The mid-game is when...
I made too many.
Wait, what?
I made too many. Do you want pizza rolls?
Sure, yeah. Here. Thank you. So then you progress to mid-game. Mid-game, believe it or not, is just an early game again. But it's when all of your resources are at your disposal at this point. So, you know those 10 things we can do? Now we're doing 10 things a turn. It's actually relatively easy for a strategy game to have a strong mid-game. As long as they have a strong early game, they pretty much by default have a strong mid-game. Because now you can do all this stuff. We were building, and we were exploring, and we were fighting, and we were crafting, and we were teaching, and we were recruiting, and we were doing all sorts of stuff, right? That's your mid-game. Cool. Awesome. Late game is tricky. Because most strategy games of any subgenre, the late game is just the mid-game again. And that's the problem. If you're just doing the mid-game again, well then if you're paying attention, you're just doing the early game for a third time. Your route, your play, your style hasn't changed. You're just doing the same stuff again. And that's the problem with most strategy games. There needs to be something new to do. There needs to be some kind of new access, new resources, new something that changes up. And yeah, as Kara Whitenoise says, when you reach the point in Crusader Kings or in Europa Universalis or in Civilization, where all you're doing is painting the map, you've done everything that the game has to offer. You're just finishing it out, or like SimCity, playing it until you're ready to put the game down. Now, does that need to be fixed? I would argue yes, but at the same time, I suppose not necessarily. So games like Subnautica avoid this, because Subnautica avoids this by having an end point. You can beat Subnautica. Also, I'm sorry to point this out, but Subnautica actually didn't avoid this. Now that I'm saying that out loud, I just realized this. Because remember, my one and only complaint about Subnautica is the late game. There's this huge runaround grind you have to do right at the finishing line to get all the resources to do the final research to escape the planet. And it's like, yeah, oh. Hang on. Okay. And then we win, right? And Subnautica is kind of egregious on that, especially because it's like, yeah! And yeah, Satisfactory has complete the project. Factorio has leaving the planet, or entering the space age now that we got the new DLC out. And yeah, Two Point Hospital was in the same way. There was a goal, but it just started to get really rough at a certain point. How do you fix this problem? So the only strategy game I could think of that has gone out of its way to fix the late game problem is Stellaris. Now, I'm sure there are other exceptions, but Stellaris is the big one because Stellaris introduced the very concept of a crisis. Capital C, crisis. It's a major event that randomly procs, and there's all kinds of math behind when it can proc, and how it can proc, and which one you get. But a crisis is supposed to be a big, giant punch to the status quo, right? The whole point of a crisis is everything has changed, and now you got to deal. It is specifically there to add late game content. The Zerg swarm are invading the galaxy. Deal with it, right? And yeah, there's also a thing now where you can become the crisis, which is exactly what it sounds like. Frostpunk also has this. Yes, you're absolutely right, because Frostpunk has, very small spoilers, the storm. When the storm hits, everything changes. And it's even a gradient, because you know the storm's coming, and then there's a timer until it hits, and then it hits. And so like, this changes the way you play. That changes the late game. And yeah, the other way, I suppose I'm being disingenuous, because the other way that you can deal with the late game problem is to not reach it. To prevent late game from ever happening. To just chop off the game once you're done with the mid game. We just listed several examples of that. Factorio, Satisfactory, Subnautica are all three games that kind of don't have a late game. Grounded as well, while we're on the subject, by Obsidian. Yeah, there's a late game for the game, but what I mean by that is there's no separate late game, right? There's no third aspect of the gameplay. You start off and you don't know what you're doing, you figure out how to do everything, and then you beat the game. And all of those games are structured that way on purpose. Now, I'm not saying they should do that in a game like this. Having a school where you just infinitely make a school makes sense. Again, I'm going to keep going back to the other example, SimCity. SimCity, by design, is a game you keep playing until you're bored. Having said that, I do think this game does have several fundamental issues. I do think the biggest one is the degree of bottlenecking. The fact that only certain types of people can interact with certain types of things, the fact that there's very specific resources which have very limited sources of them, which are bottlenecks for huge amounts of progression, the fact that you can't double up on orders in late game, like maybe having a student and a staff working on something at the same time, etc., etc., etc. I think that there are legitimate flaws in the late game of this game, but I'm not going to ding it for the fact that it keeps going and it hits that SimCity cliff, right? In Oxygen Not Included, I didn't actually hit that point. Because I had a different problem over there. I had a power problem over there. Exactly identical tracks, yeah. No, nothing like it at all. It was great. In Oxygen Not Included, there's an aspect of late game I never even reached, which was exploring other planets and really getting the rocket system going. And the reason why was because I ran into the power problem so hard that it wasn't just the fact that I couldn't progress. I couldn't stay where I was. I was losing ground. And that was the issue over there. So, ironically, I think this game actually does better than Oxygen Not Included. At least with that regards. Another example. How many of you have seen Surviving Mars? It's the music we're listening to right now. This is Surviving Mars soundtrack. Great soundtrack, by the way. I actually recommend Surviving Mars. Good game. Yep, nope, that's what I thought. So the reason I bring up Surviving Mars specifically is because Surviving Mars had the exact same problem that this game does, because there was a pretty definitive endgame. I'm going to spoil it for you. The endgame is terraforming Mars and making it just a habitable planet. Okay, cool. The problem is, when I played the game, and it has actually been patched several times since then, so this might not be true anymore. When I played the game, it was honorously grindy. I'm talking leave the game on and walk away for a day grindy. You would get like 1%. 1% of a progress point every like 20 minutes or something. It was insane. And that was it. That was the end game, was just watching that counter slowly tick up to terraforming Mars. And it was just, it was awful. Up until then, it was fine. In fact, even at that point, it's fine. It's just, why bother keep going at that point? You're just letting the game run itself at a certain point. Anyway. Do not let my frustration push you away from this game. This is still a great game. That score still looks accurate to me. But let's codify this a little bit. I'm going to put this right alongside Oxygen Not Included. Let's see how it lines up. Because I have a feeling I know how this is going to line up. I don't have anything to show you. They added an asteroid DLC that broke things? Jesus. Sorry, Surviving Mars was a great game, apparently. Correct, Judo Joker. Yeah, sorry. I've already answered that. Okay. To repeat myself, the way it's going to work out. Once I finish this, I'm going to do some post-stream paperwork and a couple other unrelated things. I'm going to throw up some Pokemon. Very important. Get some Pokemon on here. Yeah. So, we're going to finish this stream today. Obviously, we're done. And then I'm going to record footage for the runners LGAs. Then I'm going to record footage for the WoW GAs. Then I'm going to cut off voting at that point. Once I'm done recording the 2 bundles of footage that I need to record, I'm going to close the votes. So you have until that point in time to vote. Yep, the WoW Game Awards. I think we'll do the WoW GAs first. I've been feeling that anyways. And that way people can be aware that we're back to streaming, and then can be around for the LGAs, assuming they want to do that. Don't worry, I'll make announcements as I always do about coming back. Anyways, so yeah, that's your time limit for voting. Probably going to be separate streams. Experience has taught me that the LGAs are usually a full day of streaming, because we have a lot of categories, about 70 categories to go through. Twice. Once for you guys, and once for me. If I have, I would not know, Jay Palmer. People are IP limited, but there's ways around that. Easy ways around that. Oh, there it is. I sincerely doubt anybody cares enough to bother to try and cheat for something like that. But the IP limiter is there, just in case. Just to add one tiny barrier. Okay. You can do it, Judo Joker. I believe in you. Was it even a nominee for Game of the Year? Hang on. I was gonna say, what are our nominees for Game of the Year? Let's see. In no particular order: Corgi's Cozy Hike, Super Lesbian Animal RPG, 2 Point Hospital, The Giving Place, Stranger in Paradise, Mega Man X 8 16-bit, Castlevania Revamped, Armored Core 6, Trails in the Sky 2, Henry Stickmin, Resident Evil 2R, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, Trails in the Sky 2, and Pokemon Violet. Close vote, by the way. So if you think your vote doesn't matter, you are wrong. Sorry. But, you know. If I was voting, which I don't, I have my own thing I could do. I don't need to vote. But if I was voting, I know what I'd vote for. The Giving Place. I think I can talk about this because she's not here right now. I think what impressed me most about The Giving Place was that it was an actually good game. Like, you know, there's good for a first game. Like, we have that first game tag, and I don't give it any leniency on the review. But let's be honest, at the end of the review, regardless of the score, there's always that, this is a first game, so it's kind of understandable that it sucked. Kind of a statement, right? The Giving Place was solid. Like, I was impressed. I know it's not literally her first game. It is her first Unreal game. Is this only 6 minutes long? It is. I've got a long one. But let's do Mega Man. Mega Man's nice. Long. That's 8 minutes. Here, have some Mega Man. Have some Mega Man. While I do some typing. I mean, that's exactly what surprisingly good means, Judo Joker. You're absolutely right. That's... Like, some people think... One year, Starfield got surprisingly bad, and it was like, I don't feel like that's correct. I think people just looked at that and saw bad, not surprisingly bad. A game you were not expecting to be as bad as it was. And there's been a few of those over the years. I forget what this year's nominations were. What were mine? See, surprisingly. Deathloop. Yeah, that was an unexpectedly bad for me. Third Birthday, that counts. Echo the Dolphin, Quake 2. That was a surprise. And I hope Blade Travel doesn't hear this, but Final Fantasy Renaissance was one I put under unexpectedly bad. I know that sounds strange, but like, remember, we did so many fan games that were just really, really good. And were just blowing me away. And then we did FF1 Renaissance, which was FF1 on the NES. I mean, it had the classes, and the classes were legit, right? Like the class design and the new stuff was actually really good, but all of the rest of the game was just FF1 again. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, yes, Mook, but like, you get my point, right? I can't think of a specific example off the top of my head because I'm kind of busy. But there's this... Some people... There's a package at the door. That's probably me, actually. That is me. The most disturbing game of the year goes to Third Birthday! Remember the shower scene I showed you? Yeah, exactly, Mook. No, the classes were legit. That whole game was cursed. That whole game was cursed. People who made it should be ashamed. I'm just going to say it. I don't say that very often, because I tend to be extremely lenient towards developers, given the hard, unpleasant job they do in a very unpleasant industry. But Jesus Christ, you should be ashamed. They specifically stated that they wanted the clothing damage to be a thing, where players would have to decide if they took hits or not. That would be an incentive, would be to see your character being in less clothing. Probably, honestly, Blake Duvall. I mean, if you remember, I wasn't expecting Zelda 2R or Castlevania R to be anywhere near as good as they were. Honestly, same with Metroid R. Sorry, I'm not doing nothing. I'm doing the audit. I apologize. So that is a +10 to story. Where is Mind Over Magic? There it is. Honestly, yeah, Henry Stickmin would qualify for surprisingly good, I think. I have not played porn games. Porn games. Wait, that's not true. There was one game I played once. I probably shouldn't admit that. If it makes you feel any better, I was pretty young. Seek and Destroy was definitely a surprisingly good situation. Like, I was absolutely not expecting that to be as fun as it was. I think it had some issues, and I think it had some things that dragged it down, but that was still a very fun game. Maneater, that's another one. I was excited for Maneater, but I still wasn't expecting it to be that good. Honestly, Maneater was great until the DLC, and that's impressive. That means the entire vanilla game was solid. Make of that what you will. Someone do me a favor, say something when it cycles back around to Mega Man 1. I'll throw something else up. Well, it's debatable how much game there is there, but I mean, you gotta remember, they're Atari port games, so yeah. No. I'm gonna say no, J. Palmer. Okay. Gameplay. So I'm debating how many replay positives to give this game. Games like this usually qualify for the triple. What are we feeling from the crowd? Ooh, turmeric. See, I was actually debating a double because, as weird as it sounds, I think it deserves the first and the third, but not the second. So the first one is general. It's the most gimme positive we tend to give. It's just for vibes. Is this game a game I'd replay? Mega Man 2, right? The second is for the game doing something that encourages replay. Something is different the second time you play it or the third time you play it. It has to be something substantial. The third is for a game that is by design a game you're supposed to replay over and over. So, like, again, roguelikes tend to get the triple. Large strategy games tend to get that as well. You are supposed to keep playing Stellaris and Civilization and Master of Orion, right? A game that is replayable down to its core gets the third positive. Generally speaking, the third positive is almost universally the domain of strategy games and roguelikes. Or Hitman, yeah. Because Hitman just has so much creativity in how you can approach things. Hitman got the triple, for example. You know, I hear there's this website. Hang on. Replayability. Fighters. Ace Combat 7 got 1 positive for replayability. I don't remember which one it was, but it got 1. Ace Combat 0 also got 1, as did X. 5 did not, 4 did not. Ace Attorney was before the Oblivion line, to my great dismay. I don't really feel the urge to re-review it. We've kind of already covered it, and it's only really going to hit the same way once. The first 3 games are good, though. I recommend them. You can still find the VODs on the archive page on the website. Because I put a lot of effort into archiving all those old VODs, and nobody cares. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. I'm sure someone cares. It's just, it was a legitimately large amount of work to do all that. And then it was like, okay, that's it. That sucks. Five pluses for difficulty options. That is the second? No. Yes, second most positives we've ever given for difficulty options. And it's really close. We've given one other game 6 positives for difficulty options. And let me double check my notes on that. Ah, so it was for mutators, and then options. So actually, never mind. This actually is tied for the most difficulty option positive we've ever given, which tracks because there's a freaking lot of them. Seriously, I was so impressed by that. Like 10 minutes into the game, oh my god, look at all these options. You know, I mathed that out at the time, Judo Joker. I even answered that at the time. So I don't remember, is the short answer. At least as far as favorites. My least favorite was probably the DLC level, which I can't even think of the name. It was a jungle island map thing. It was honestly pretty unimpressive. Standouts, I would say... Yeah, but Jay Palmer. The mission where you have to take out the other agents, the party, the club, Miami. I love Miami. Miami is just phenomenal. And there was one other one that really stuck with me, which was the rich people. The Rich People Escape Island. You remember that? I'm pretty sure it was part of Hitman 2. I think those 3 levels, if you put a gun to my head right now, from memory, I would put those towards the top. Maybe not at the top, but definitely towards the top. Give me 1 second, J. Palmer. I don't want to lose something. Sorry, give me 1 second. 1 second. No, wait, please. I'm begging you. Put down the whip, I'm begging you. Dude, it was so satisfying killing those rich people. But no, seriously, like, it was good story, for lack of a better way to put that. And it was good gameplay. There was so much you could do in it in so many ways, and it was very satisfying. But I have to be honest, if you wanted me to give a knee-jerk gut reaction for my favorite, it would honestly probably be Miami. Miami was just so good. Miami was so good. I don't know what else to add to that. Mid-game. It helps that Miami... So there's one other personal thing that wouldn't be like review level about Miami that I really like. It is bright and colorful. I know that sounds like a strange thing, but first of all, I like bright and colorful. I don't like muted colors. I don't like, I don't like the brown era of gaming. I don't like Gluck or gray or brown. But also, it was such a great... Yeah, that's the one move. It was such a great vibe for an assassin mission. Its sun was shining, and there's a race, and there's crowds, and everyone's cheering, and you're here to kill someone. Halo, SPV3, Secret, Weapons, Over, Normandy, and Sky Odyssey. Thank you very, very much, Jay Palmer, as always. Not distracted. I believe I did, Judo Joker. Lots of really fun costumes in Miami. Man, I've got so much crypto. I'm swimming in it. Literally, please help me. Save me from the crypto by donating immediately. Have you noticed that's the latest scam, by the way? The latest meta scam on some streams? Donate to wake me up. Or donate to, like, make me react to you, and it's just... Ugh. Anyways. Speaking of which, I appreciate every one of you who donates to me because you want to support me. Not because I charge you, not because I bilk you, but just because you want to support me. I actually have a term for it. I call it the Mary C. Cole approach to financing. The idea is those who can pay so that those who can't don't have to. Because I know I have plenty of viewers who just can't afford to give me money, but they still get to watch my show because those who can afford to give me money do. So thank you. I think that's it. Yeah, okay, so I'm almost done. I am sorry. I'm trying to be thorough. For a game this bulky, I don't want to rush. You know what I mean? Everyone in chat, we want you to rush. You will rush, or we will shut down your school and send all of your children to the coffee mines of Rurapente. Ugh. Donation baiting is just its own special... What? Why? Fun fact, I also gave 2 Point Hospital late game negatives. And Ultimate Admiral Dreadnought. Go figure. Listen, Blue Wind, if you donate... Hang on, help me think of a scam really quick here. The third person to... I don't know. You too can buy Big Ben. If you donate, but you're the 15th person to donate, then I'll rate FF2. I'll play a game tomorrow instead of doing the long, dark, off-camera stuff. If you donate now, oh god, how many? Speaking of Harry Potter, for just a sec, I'm sorry to bring that up because I don't want to talk about it, but just bear me out for a second, okay? They had a Mobage. I don't remember what it's called, but it was a Mobage game, and it was crap, and it was Mobage, and there was this thing where, during the beginning of it, god damn it, Blade Jamal. During the beginning of it, one of the first things that happens is your student gets strangled by something. And it's like, oh no, your student's being strangled. Oh God, help them, please. And the way you help them is by spending money. Or waiting like half an hour. And can I just say, what is wrong with whoever designed that? That is so goddamned predatory. Because think about the intended audience there for a second. Probably younger. Probably people who don't, you know, really know better. I don't know, Jay Palmer. I would know if I saw the game itself. Not some terrible artwork. So you're just some kid, maybe in your teens, and you're just playing, and it's like, oh no, your character's being strangled to death. And it's like, oh God. Oh, but I just have to pay. And that way I can progress. Think about that for a second. Just really think about that for a second. Dragon Age 4, Star Ocean 2R, Pokemon Legends ZA. Hang on, Broken Link. Honestly, I think a lot more than Wall Street would be banned for that. Should be banned for that. Yeah, that looks like it, Jay Palmer. Ugh. Oh my god, you see this boss? This boss is telling Tidus to vote. Thank you. Thank you very, very much, Blade Jamal. Oh my god. Listen, Judo Joker. you are a human being, and therefore have looked at porn, statistically speaking, in your life. I don't want to go down that particular rabbit hole again. Nobody wants to hear me rant about porn, but for the love of God, can we stop, like, making it out to be some horribly disgusting sin? Is that a thing we could do? You probably shouldn't be ashamed to be looking at porn. Hi, DeQuack. It's like saying, have you eaten food in your life? DeQuack, do you eat food? How dare you eat food, DeQuack? It's disgusting. Ugh. Don't you know? Lol, Chemix Cow. Okay, final bit of the audit. I mean, God, at this point, I get, I'd say at least 2 scam texts a day right now. Oh no, you're right. It's not a sin to be evil. I'm ridiculous, but I swear to God, you go look at a person who's naked and you are out. Straight to hell. It's a sin to be caught. Actually, yeah. Okay, I said I wouldn't go down the rabbit hole. I shouldn't. I'm sorry. Here, let me do the audit. Let me do the audit. Okay. Okay. Audit. Audit. The unit to quack? Nice. I hope you're having fun with it. Also, I hope you don't have the problem I have where I get shaky and nervous and then I twitch and it's like, no! And then I ruined it. I don't paint minis anymore. Oh my God, Von Falkenstein, you have consumed alcohol sin! Shame! Where's the bell? Shame. 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 Oh God, I don't want to think about how young I was when I first had alcohol. It's okay, I hated it. I was like, ugh, why do people willingly drink this? That was actually what I said at the time, was why would you drink this? Burdens of Shaohao, you'll just know. I love the first few minutes of Up. I spent like 10 minutes talking about it during the rumination. The Burdens of Shaohao are still better. Have you ever listened to music without giving that musician money? Sorry, by that I mean giving the license label money. Straight to hell. Don't give any money to the musician, obviously. They don't deserve it. Because they just made the music. I really like Surviving Mars' music. It's something that's actually really important to these kinds of games, is to have a soundtrack that is just enough in the background that it doesn't really distract you from the game, but it still has to be enjoyable enough to not get irritating. And Surviving Mars managed a really sweet spot there. I mean, I think some of the other vignettes in WoW are even better than the Burdens of Shaohao, but those might be too short to qualify. Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna go... No, I can't think of it off the top of my head. So I'm doing a bit of cross-referencing, especially since we have already reviewed Oxygen Not Included, so we've kind of got a great game to directly compare against this. It's not even the same genre, it's the same subgenre. Someone do me a favor and look up the golden number for Oxygen Not Included, please. I'm kind of curious, and I'm almost done here. You know, speaking of songs you can play forever. 89, damn, that's pretty good. Especially for a game that fell apart so hard in the late mid-game. I also played that for longer, that's funny. Fun fact, we also gave Oxygen Not Included the first and third replay positives. Go figure. Oh gosh, Spartan. Older than you'd think. Let's put it that way. Well, yeah, Spartan, but that was in the Wild era. No, for me, it would have been before I got the job at Arby's. I was in my 20s at that point. I was never there for it personally, but I've done a lot of research on it because of how influential it was in game design. But in Poland, in particular, there was a whole thing where you just go to this one alley or street or open market, and they'd just be selling video games there. Bootleg video games. It was a huge issue for people who were trying to move in and sell games legitimately, publish them legitimately, because why would I when I could just go get the bootleg version? And they had to come up with customer service things, and like they would put together maps and guides and walkthroughs that they would like do freaking photocopies of. Say, here, buy from us. It's the official version, and you get this. In order to try and sell legitimate copies of games. That's how CD Projekt Red got it started, by the way, along with a couple other companies. A lot of the Eastern European companies in the post-Soviet bloc got their start with the gaming industry. Interestingly, is the way I want to phrase that. I think that's everything. Okay, let's get some math in here. I guess I'll scooch back down here. I guess you can see my ugly mug. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what bootlegging means. You pirate a bootlegged copy. I don't remember why it's called bootlegged. I don't know. I haven't been a part of that scene in a long time. Ignoring the obvious troubles and foibles of navigating those waters, the fact of the matter is, this is my job now. So... So what, they put the liquor in their leg, which was a boot? What? I don't want to drink boot liquor, that's gross. Yes, that was FF12. Or 10. Hang on. This is FF12. And then in a second it'll be FF10 too, and then in a second it'll be 10. Ladies and gentlemen, can I get a drum roll here? As we're building up to Mind Over Magic. So, Mind Over Magic, we're looking at the other strategy management games out. We have Stardew Valley, Surviving Mars, Ultimate Admiral Dreadnought, 2 Point Hospital, Oxygen not included. That's our competition. The highest on the story axis is Stardew Valley. No shock there, of course it is. But actually, Mind Over Magic managed number 2. Good atmosphere, good flavor, good visuals, good just tone of the game. That's not very many positives per hour, but it is a 100% ratio. I'll take it. Gameplay-wise, most of these actually are really solid on the gameplay axis. Our lowest gameplay score for any of these is Ultimate Admiral Dreadnought's at -26, but after that, it's 22. So that's the actual floor. That's pretty good. Nevertheless, I ended up giving this the most gameplay positives. So Surviving Mars had 22, Stardew Valley had 31, 2 Point Hospital had 36, Oxygen not included had 38, Mind Over Magic had 43. Aside from my issues with the late game, it's really good. 1.67 positives per hour for a 25-hour game is damned good, and that's an 81% ratio, which is actually the best ratio we have for the category, giving us our final golden number of 100. Where'd the guessing sheet go? I had it. I just had it. I want to see who wins. Here it is. 100. Oh, that's going to be really close. 21.68. That is a freaking good score. If you're interested in playing the game, I had a whole speech earlier about late game. I'm not going to repeat it right now. But I honestly recommend, like, once you get to the time when you feel like you're good and you're spending more time waiting than doing anything, you've probably seen all the game has to see. And don't feel ashamed to go ahead and put it down and then try another playthrough later at that point. You can also buy this and Oxygen Not Included for cheaper if you bundle them together, which I even recommend. So that's 0.54. 0.54, 0.54, 0.54. Okay, yeah, that does go towards Blade Cheval. That was a very close contest, but you still win. Blade Cheval was the MVP, other than Lord Paramount. And that's just going to the same stuff that you just put it towards, so I'll just put it there. The Cook and Tank wins. Go figure. But yeah, solid game. Definitely enjoy. I hope you enjoyed too. Like I've said many times, we're going into a dark. So we're going to be there for a minute. I don't know how long. I never know how long. That's not how that works. By definition, I don't know how long. Make sure you vote. You have until I finish gathering footage for all of the Runner Awards, as well as the WoW GAs, at which point I will shut off voting so I can gather footage for the Walker GAs. I do have some other off-camera-y stuff to do. It's mostly paperwork-y stuff. I wouldn't worry about it too much. But it's all just random crap I haven't had time to do. It's the WoW Game Awards, J. Paul, obviously. And, yeah. I'll be back with the WoW GAs, actually, for the next time I'll be streaming, most likely. So, see you there.